Hello, hi. I figure I'd try some different, really weird lighting today. Just got home and I'm super tired, but I'm digging this vibe, you know? My name is Zoe. I'm the Tipsy Psychic, and today we're going to talk about the compatibility between a Cancer, Leo cusp, and a Cancer. Woo! I'm excited. When you date each other, you will strive to make your relationship work. You might feel like you're constantly defending your relationship, even when no one's really provoking you to do so. It's like you'll spend a lot of time convincing people that you're perfect for each other, even if no one's questioned it. You can always count on each other to perform a task and to help out in a way that makes the most sense. The more you fuel your devotion, the better things will be for your Cancer. You can be a thrill seeker, and being with a Cancer might push you over the edge. You're always trying to test the waters, you know? But you need to get a handle on your daredevil tendencies, okay? Sometimes you have to let loose. It's important to kick back. If you have it completely together from time to time, being with the Cancer would keep you vigilant. You're very good at creating a life together and finding a place for both of you. You both have this desire to persuade and inspire other people in your life. However, you never fall for each other's tricks. You both often find yourselves taking on the burdens of other people and taking responsibility for things that no one else really wants to deal with. You have to demonstrate to your Cancer how you feel about them. It's easy to assume that your Cancer just knows that you love them. And sometimes saying I love you isn't enough. You have to show them you love them. So make sure you are demonstrating how much you appreciate your Cancer on a regular basis. It will become very comfortable just making decisions as a couple. But make sure you're also deciding based on what you want. Not just what you both want together, but what is it that you want. It might be easy to confuse the two after a while. Never stop trying to figure your Cancer out. Don't give up. It's important to explore your love for each other. Your Cancer would feel like they belong with you and can fit into your life with ease. You both are in charge of your own little universe, you know? You're always going to be the one who supports them and helps them pursue their dreams, and a Cancer will get so much out of that. You may not always connect on the same wavelength emotionally, but when you're both together, that powerful bond that you have makes that aspect of things seem like nothing. And it makes up for way more than it lacks. Try to be more in control of your feelings. But that doesn't mean silencing them or pushing them away. No. You also need to remember that the people in your life, they don't need you. They need to want you. And you're in their life and you are doing the things you do for them because they want you around, not because they absolutely need you. Newsflash, they are capable of going on without you. So you need to stop acting like you're so important. Remember, just because something is a good idea for your Cancer doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna work for you. It doesn't mean it's a good idea for you. You need to be with someone who can kind of tell what's gonna happen next with you. Who won't think you're super unpredictable. And a Cancer might be really good at that. If you want to have a steady love life connection with your Cancer, then you're going to need to have a steady foundation that you build off of. Your blind determination for your relationship is the basis of this relationship. It's what is really driving it here. Cancer would get you on a deeper level, and being with them would really help you explore your own self. It would feel very therapeutic. When you're with each other, the attention will no longer be on what you each do. It will be on what you both do as a couple and what you accomplish together. So be prepared for your individual successes to be overlooked and less celebrated in favor of your accomplishments in your relationship and things you do together. That's where the praise is at. You need to work on reading the room. There is a time to kick back and relax and a time to go for it. And you need to work on being better at figuring out like when to do one or the other. You need to be able to tell when you need to be patient and when you need to like go for it, you know? Stop putting yourself on a pedestal. Try not to think that you are somehow superior to others. You're not that special, honey. They can survive without you, so you need to stop doing what you're doing with this whole self-importance act. There is a power struggle that can be a big challenge in this relationship. And you need to try to avoid this power struggle as much as possible. Cancer wouldn't mind letting you be the center of attention when you need to be. And that is very important to you. One of the biggest obstacles of this relationship is trying to keep a handle on your feelings and not bottling them up. That's bad. It's not uncommon for you to be in love affairs together. Like when one of you is married or in a relationship with someone else, and then you cheat together. Pretty common. And it usually happens because you have this enjoyment of thrill. Like you both get a thrill out of breaking the rules or doing something in secret. It sounds so naughty, but it turns you both on, lights your fire. In the bedroom, a good role play scenario would be of doing something that you really shouldn't be doing. Oh no, we really shouldn't be doing this, but we are, and it's so hot. Most of the time, you're better together than alone. You can get past the power struggles if you figure that out. This couple can give off kind of a royal vibe, you know? In another lifetime, you could have been like rulers of a kingdom together. Your life is like your own empire. As friends, you always have each other's backs. You treat each other like teammates. And your team always comes first, no matter how emotionally unstable you feel that day or how unrealistic your Cancer is being, your team comes first. You need to make sure that you're not spending all your time with each other, you know? That'd be good. That you give each other some space. You need to be with someone who admires your self-worth. That's right. And who values you. And a Cancer could be that person. You have to try to communicate with each other even if you don't feel like it. That's the way it is. If you're facing difficulties, you both have the bad habit of retreating and not wanting to like face conflict head on. But even if it's counterintuitive, you need to stop avoiding that confrontation. You need to be very vocal about it to each other. And you have to be careful not to get too carried away with your daredevil tendencies. It can sometimes become a really big issue for this couple because you can rely on it so much for passion and like enjoyment. You both do really weird things for fun. Your activities are usually really intriguing and usually like you can't even explain it really. A good date idea would be a murder mystery party. You both enjoy a little suspense, you know? Sometimes marriages between you and your Cancer can act more like businesses, you know? It's almost like you're trying to run a prestigious business just by the way you like interact with your Cancer and the way you like run your household. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's very efficient, you know? You both take charge very well and you're able to deal with threats very well. You may not always like what you both have to say to each other when you're communicating, but trust me when I say that you have to be blunt and open and straightforward. You have a really good sense of humor and your Cancer will see that and they'll admire it. Whether your Cancer is your friend or your spouse, they're very intuitive. And when you're having like a hard time and you are shutting down, then they'll be able to connect with you on a deeper level in a way that most people just can't. They're like, I can't understand this person, but a Cancer can see past that. But marriage between you and a Cancer is probably not the best way to go. You see, you both thrive on danger. And you would have to give that up completely in order to have a like stable and successful marriage, according to society, of course. And because you thrive so much on this thrill, then it will definitely be much harder to make it work. And it has to be one or the other. You can't have the thrill and the stability and the success. So you're gonna have to choose, and most of the time it just like doesn't work without that aspect of danger. So if what you have and you don't have any of that danger and it's working out for you, great. Other than that, I'm sorry, it's gonna be a lot more difficult to do the whole marriage thing, or at least to keep it up. Obviously, not every Cancer will get along with you. Either you work well as a unit or you just like don't work together at all, but it's hardly ever in between. If either one of you has any difficulties with procrastination or difficulties like facing conflict, if you want this to work and you want to be successful, then you really need to take care of it and learn to deal with those problems and solve them before you decide to get married. Because if you don't solve those problems and you put a ring on it and you make this huge commitment but those problems aren't dealt with, they're going to carry over into your marriage like 10 times more than they already are, and it's going to become an issue. So make sure you take care of all of those beforehand. Trust me. And you go through a lot of exciting experiences together. You may not always be on the same wavelength temperamentally, but you do respect each other's feelings, which really helps. If your Cancer's feeling down, you need to be able to kind of sense whether you need to take a step back or whether you need to comfort them. Like, do they need a friend right now to take their mind off things, or do they need some fresh air and some space? You need to be able to read that situation if you want this to work. So work on mastering that sensitivity, you know? When you meet and things don't work out, it might be because you feel slightly intimidated by each other's feelings and you don't really want to get involved, so you kind of keep to yourself. You both can get very emotional and expect things to be kind of like a roller coaster ride from time to time, but if you both stay determined and you stick by each other and you both are brave, then with time and compassion, things will get better. Marriages stand more of a chance at success if there is a physical attraction. Like, how sexy do you find each other? Looks-wise, you know. Personality can be sexy too. I mean, have you met me? Okay. Some good date ideas during the honeymoon phase would be to go on a vacation, like do something super relaxing that gets you out of your head, like getting a massage or going on a cruise, or doing something like near a body of water, like a lake or stream. Although you make a great team as friends, it doesn't mean that your friendship is like profound. It's often pretty shallow. Yup. Many times when you first start dating or you're having like a love affair or a fling, then it's mostly about sex. It like revolves around sex. This is a very sexual, passionate match. Power struggles in a marriage can be like the main obstacle. It can be something that you have difficulties with in the beginning, but usually you can end up working things out if your Cancer kind of loosens the reins a little bit. Unless you take the lead, you're both like leaders. So one of you kind of needs to cave and be okay with letting the other person take the wheel, you know? It's if they're okay with just like being by your side and being there for you. And this isn't usually like a discussion that you have with your Cancer, like, hey, I'm stepping down. No, it's just something that happens naturally if things are going in a healthy direction. They just take more of a supportive role and they give in to your power just a little bit. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you are a Cancer or if you're born on the cusp of Cancer and Leo, please comment below. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I would love to hear more from you. Subscribe to my channel. Ta-ta! Well, this was fun.